Hey everybody, and welcome to another Marketing Friday. I wanted to tackle one of the most daunting topics that I ever discuss with clients or friends or colleagues, and that is the annual marketing budget. How do you figure out how much money your company should be spending and really understand how to break that down? So I wanted to present a real simple method and one way to think about the different buckets of allocation that you're going to have within your marketing budget. So if you do your research, you'll find that Small Business Association and lots of other organizations would recommend that you spend somewhere between probably 3 and 15% of your annual gross revenue on your marketing services, your total marketing program. And we're going to talk about how to break that down here in a little bit. But thinking about that is really driven by how commoditized or how competitive is your industry when it comes to communications and marketing, how much is out in the landscape, and also what are your annual goals? Are you guys really trying to just maintain and keep your current customer base and focus on customer service or a new thing that you're going to launch? Or are you really trying to go for aggressive growth and a lot of new customer acquisition? So that is going to drive a little bit of what your budget should be. Are you more towards the 3% or are you more up towards that 12 to 15%? And in some organizations, as much as 20 or 30%, depending on where you're coming from and where you're going. So one way to kind of visualize that, or at least kind of break it down, would be this. If you are a $6 million annualized company, that would mean that 1% of revenue would be $60,000, 3% would be $180,000, 15% is $900,000. So that breaks down to a monthly budget of somewhere between $15,000 and $75,000 a month. Now that budget should cover headcount, creative, and then deployment services. And what I mean by that is, who do you have working for you in the marketing function? Contractors, freelancers, full-time W-2 employees, they all kind of fall into that category. The second component is, how are you spending money on creative? Are you making videos, website updates, photo sessions, web pages? Are you making infographics or white papers that you can deploy? Sales collateral, all these things fall into that category, and there should be a budget assigned for that so you know what you can create on a monthly basis. And then the third component would be, how are you taking those assets that you're building, all of these things that you're using to educate customers and make them trust you and hopefully gain their attention at the time that they're ready to buy? How are you getting those into the hands of your most desired customers? How are you getting that in front of their faces in a way that's compelling? So that would come down to your media costs, advertising spend, all the different ways that you can deploy your message. There's going to be hard costs with that. For example, when you write a press release, you've got to not only write the actual release itself, but you got to put it out through one of the various news wires, and then you've got to spend some time working with the media to get that story picked up. So there's costs at all three stages there. And if you kind of break them down into your media relations falls back into your head count, the creative is actually writing the press release itself, and then the deployment, getting it out through the newswire, would be that third component. And there's hard costs in all three of those. So one way to break down marketing, a percentage of annual revenue, and a way to think about it across your organization buckets that you can spread it out. Hopefully that helps some of your organizations out there as you continue to plan for next year in 2019. Thanks for watching again on Marketing Friday. Hope you guys have a great one.